Hey drummers, how's it going? It's Alex here, bringing you some more famous licks and grooves for drumstheword.com. Today we're going to be looking at one of my favourite grooves, one of my favourite bands, and one of my favourite drummers. So hopefully you'll like it. It's Around the Fur, the band is Deftones and the drummer is Abe Cunningham, and it sounds a bit like this. Here we go. Alright, so let's dive straight into this sweet little groove. We've got 2 bars to get through. Predominantly going to be playing 16th notes with your right hand, but on beat 1 of the second bar, we're going to swap back to 8th notes, so you get a tiny break, but not really. Alright, so one thing to note when you're playing your 16th notes, you don't want to have them like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and or 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. It's a bit brash. So you want to get your Moella technique going on, so you're sort of doing loud, quiet, loud, quiet. So you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, etc. And if you listen on the record, you can hear Abe doing that quite clearly. So if we dive into the actual what's going on between the bass drums and the snare drums, if we're looking at beat 1 and 2, you've got a lot of kicks going on. So you've got a kick on 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Once you get past beat 1 and 2, you've got this nice bit of open space where it's just your hi-hat rocking away, and then the of beat 3 leading into beat 4, you're going to get that sort of kick snare. When I'm explaining this, the hi-hats are pretty much all going to be the same sort of intensity, but when we start sort of grooving it, you'll hear that sort of tick, 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 tick sound coming through. So if we just map out just the first bar, we're not going to worry about the ghost note or the drag just yet, which just pops in on the of beat 4. We'll sort of do that when we look at beat 2 or bar 2, because it kind of leads into that nicely. So if we just look at bar 1, we're going to get this 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, so one more time, a tiny bit faster. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So if I just loop that a little bit, hopefully give you a better picture, and I'll sort of groove it up a tiny bit. Here we go. So nice and slow. Okay, when you're playing it, make sure that those kicks are landing exactly the same time as those hi-hats. Otherwise it's going to sound a little bit sloppy or a little bit messy, and you don't want that. So speed it up a tiny bit. That's the first bar, done, kind of. All right, so before we look at bar 2 in its entirety, what we're going to look at is this little drag that's going to be on the of beat 4, and we're going to practice doing that. So a little drag is where you're kind of bouncing like traditionally your left hand, if you sort of use it within a groove. It's going to sort of like bounce it, just use your fingers. You're not going to sort of be coming from up here, so almost like a little double bounce ghost note. And we're going to do that leading into 2 8th notes, which is going to be 1 and we're going to open the hi-hat, nice and loud and proud at this point, so let them rattle away, and hit 2 bass drums as well on the 1 and the and. So you get this with the little drag. If I go up to the snare drums, we've got a snare drum on beat 2, and you get this. Okay, it's not too bad. So if I was to take away the hi-hats, all I've got is let a boom, boom, snare, let a boom, boom, snare. It's really hard saying left, left really quickly. I'll try again. Left, left, boom, boom, snare, ding. And then it goes straight back to 16th notes after that. If I now play the same thing but then carry on for the rest of the bar, it's pretty much exactly the same as the first bar. So you've got lots of open space, and you're hitting that bass drum on the of beat 3 and then cracking that snare on beat 4. So it's going to sound like this. And again. Start going 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right, then all you got to do is add that to bar 1. So I'll tell you what, before we do that, I'll just loop this round with the nice overhead camera angle shot. So here we go. Alright, so we've got bar 1 and bar 2 down. Let's stick these bad boys back to back and see what we get. If I go nice and slowly, it should sound a bit like this. This groove wasn't meant to be played slow. Let's speed it up. Okay, so one other little thing you can chuck in, I've seen Abe do it a couple of times when I've seen him live, is just do like, instead of doing that booga at the, of beat 3 leading to beat 4, he sort of turns that into booga. So you get these two bass kicks. So you turn that into a 30-second note double. So it's going to sound like this. And that's just something you can chuck in every now and again, which is what he does, and it sounds pretty cool. So if I just play it one more time, sporadically put in the extra 30-second note doubles, and then come and say goodbye. So here we go. Alright drummers, there it is. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you're not a fan or if you've never heard of Deftones, go and check them out. They've got an amazing drummer, definitely worth a listen. If you want the sheet music for this particular lesson, you can pop over to drummerstheword.com and pick that up completely for free. And in the meantime, take care, keep drumming, and I'll see you soon for some more famous licks and grooves. Alright, bye!